My name is Sif Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
And welcome to This Week in Car Audio again with your host, Doug Stockton and Lucky McGovern, with our guest this week, Team DTX Steve, the new world record holder for Pro Stock 5K wall class. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
With Pro Stock at that. Pro Stock 5K?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. So don't mind me, folks. I'm sharing this right now, so I'm not ignoring anybody, so sorry.
Yep. And for those that don't know, share, hit the like button, hit the share button, whether you're on YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Facebook. Share and like the heck out of this thing. Let's get a lot of people involved. All right, Steve. So, we're going to start off just kind of talking to you a little bit about, so is that how many times you've been to Slamology?
That was my third year at Slamology.
Okay, third year. How would you describe Slamology to somebody that's never been? I mean, because the bulk of our base that watch these shows and whatnot, we're a lot of guys out of California, some people overseas, some people out in the Caribbean, and all that. How would you describe to somebody that hasn't been there?
Well, it's a must-do. I mean, I've had buddies from other countries that fly in just to go to this show. It's a must-attend. It's right in the middle of the United States. People build for a whole year just to attend this show with their demo builds or their competition builds. Well, a lot of people make their debuts. I mean, you get people from all over the country. It's a must-do. It's the biggest car audio show of the year by far. I haven't seen a lot of the West Coast shows. I know CES is probably really big. But Slam, as far as Midwest to East Coast, that is the must-attend show of the year.
Yep. And just for you guys, so obviously I'm the DB drag judge, so I'm really DB drag centric, and what I focus on is DB drag. We did 116 cars through our lanes this year.
Nice.
Is that your first time competing at Slam, or have you competed in years past?
I've ran Mecca, Ayaska, and Usaki at Slam before. It was my first time running drag ever, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. and you just step in and get a world record, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've competed in other orgs. I have championships in other orgs. I just never felt like I had a build to the level to be competitive in DB drag. And now I feel like I do, so I wanted to come out and see how it would do.
That's a hell of a coming out party.
Yeah, right? Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, like I said, really cool. I'm glad you came out and tried it. So now do you have championships? What do you have championships in then?
Ironically, I'm doing burp now, but I have all my championships in music average classes in Midwest SPL. I've won a music clamped class, a 90-second average on the center of the windshield. I've also won an extreme class where it's 30-second average, a foot outside of the passenger door.
Okay.
Kind of like park and pound, if people have ran that before.
Yep.
So I've competed in burp classes, but I've never really been competitive because I used to compete with a Suburban. As you know, they're not the most efficient vehicles in the world.
You mean like that one right behind Lucky, right over there?
Tahoe.
Tahoe. Suburban, Tahoe, they're all the same.
Suburbans are longer.
Yeah, I had a 99 Suburban, so I had the square body. But yeah, same principle.
Yeah, no, we when we were looking for vehicles at Slamology, people not showing up in lanes on time, you look down at their vehicle and it has the vehicle description as you know when you filled out the paperwork. '03 Tahoe. And we were like going, okay, which '03 Tahoe out here?
There's about 300 of them in the lot there.
Yep.
Man, I was looking online, people's like lives that they were doing and everything. Like, how is, I don't know which way to look. I think if I'm looking over here, it's
Nope.
opposite. Anyway, so when I was looking at people's live feeds
Look
going
to
on
your left.
to
There
my
you-
here, let me just move
Right
him
there,
this
right
way,
there.
right there. Yep,
That's
I
where
know.
you want to look.
Okay. So it seems like there wasn't that many people out there, but I know that there was. So when I seen like Syph Morrison was doing like lives of his booth, you know, and the stuff he was selling, his merch and everything like that.
Mhm.
And so how was the layout? Was the merchant like people selling merch at a whole different area, and then the event was over here? Because then also when I seen Doug put the video of the cars in the lanes, it looked empty, and I know that's not the case. So
Right.
what's the layout like out there?
So if you go on the far back side, that's where the main stage is. They do awards and like they have the concerts there. Then to the left of that is where they have the car audio. I'm not sorry, the custom cars and lowriders, stuff like that. And then past that is where the vendor booths are, and it kind of goes around in an L.
So it's a
And then
vendor
on the-
row is what they call that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the back side, they have kind of a grassy area. As soon as you get past the vendor area, that's kind of where the demo guys like to set up.
Okay.
And then past that is where they have the lanes. And then towards the back of the lanes is where a lot of the SPL guys that just compete set up, like your
Nice.
sound checks and DTX guys, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I was only able to see the lives, and I was like, did something happen, or is like what's going on? Like I don't see many people, but you know, obviously, you know, it's huge. So yeah.
So talking to the organizers of Slamology, she told me the competitor numbers were almost doubled they were the year before. I mean,
I can only imagine. Yeah.
yeah, competitor numbers. But talking to the vendors, they said the vendor like spectators was quite a bit down this year compared to years past. So I mean, in my opinion, I think what happened was people that were spectators last year and previous years kind of stepped up and started competing with all these options. So you know, I do this to make money in DB Drag. I absolutely love it. I do it for the love of it because I don't make a ton of money, but you still at the end of the day got to make money. They charge $40 for unlimited entries in unlimited organizations.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice.
So that to me is an unsustainable model, right? I mean, just think of the trophies you'd have to provide for the events there. You would have, I mean,
tons.
If you didn't have the 1,400 competitors or whatever they had, there's no way you guys would have ever been able to even pay for the trophies for that event, you know?
Yeah.
What were the awards this year?
There were actually have one right behind me. Let me grab it.
All right.
So this year they were these jugs, like a growler.
Okay.
I don't think you can see that, but yeah. So it's like a growler, big jug. In years past, it was a beer mug and it had like this metal staff with flames on it, which is kind of cool too. So I mean, it's cool to kind of switch it up a little bit. A lot of people are saying that they kind of like these awards because the mugs and the metal pieces were the last few years I've been there that it was the same ones, they just changed colors.
Okay.
So it's something a little different this year.
That's good. Christian Jensen popped in with a quick. Sam Dunn said 1,800 pre-registered cars for the event. And Christian Jensen asked if it was a big show. You missed it earlier, Christian. So through the DB drag lanes, we ran 116 vehicles. We could have done more, but I think we were running smooth. So how did you feel the judging process to going through the lanes? How was the process at that show for you on the DB drag side?
It was my first time running it, so I went through there. I had an idea, but I didn't really know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Weber, I think his name was. He helped me out a lot. He goes, okay, this, you know. I knew the rules, so I had my vehicle prepped ahead of time for what it needed to be for DB drag.
Right.
So it was fairly smooth for me, but I could see a newer competitor, you know, being a little scared to run it because DB drag to me kind of seems like the major leagues of the orgs. You know, it's like
Oh, it is.
You kind of start, you know, with the locals, and you kind of, you know, move up, and then you move into DB drag. I don't know how it is out in California,
No,
but
that's worldwide.
yeah, it's pretty much the elite competitors that I know of run drag.
Oh,
So
they do.
it's kind of intimidating a little bit at first, but you know, they're all very friendly. You get used to it. So once you're comfortable with it, I feel like you did a great job of being both on the mic and helping guys out. I know when RP was running his extreme van through, the other guy in the Silverado was having issues starting a song, and you took the time to go over there, help him set up a song, get it going, you know, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, right? You're a competitor. That guy that came in the lanes, he's not a competitor, right? And if we as judges and as other competitors, I mean, ask Lucky, we spend so much time with new guys. It doesn't matter how big or how small a show is. If we don't keep bringing in the new guys, we'll die out, right? I mean, you're a new guy for DB Drag, right? We aren't bringing in new guys. The whole thing just falls away.
Correct.
So yeah, no. So that guy was having problems with his song. He was having problems with, you know, getting the song quality to pass on the base race side. So, you know, I was just trying to help him out and, you know, explain to him how he can help get to where he needed to be.
Right.
So Sam Dunn, I suppose you know who Sam is.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
I know. He said he's been there since 2016, and it ran faster and smoother than it's ever ran before. And realistically, all it was Jeremy called me up and he said, "Hey, I'd love to have you come out here and help me judge the show if you can." We came to terms. I said, "You know what, Jeremy, I'm gonna come and help you out." But Jeremy, look at it. Check this out. This is how you're gonna have to run this event, because I have an event over here at Autorama where I ran as many as 160 cars in a day, and that's brackets, everything.
Oh wow!
So it was before we had the clamp classes, so that makes a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
So I was telling Jeremy, I was like, "Hey, Jeremy, this is how we're gonna run it." And he goes, "You know what? We'll try it. I'm open to trying it." And I asked Jeremy and Chet, because they were at the first tent doing the judging and the miking and the doing all this, you know, the prep work for you guys, let you guys know what you were doing and whatnot. And they even told me, they goes, "Hey, that was less stressful. It was easy on us." And you know, that for me is, I've been running big shows and whatnot for 21 years. It's you know, it's a big thing. And another thing you're gonna not see out where you live, but I mean, you hear me calling people, you got 2 minutes to get to the lane, this and that. Well, when you go Midwest and back east, they don't do that very often.
No.
But no, but you see, so if you would have been watching the live feed, I don't know if you were or not, you would have seen people from the West Coast chiming in. I probably saw it 5 or 6 times at least with, "Wow, your lanes look dead." And for you guys that were at the show, it didn't seem like the lanes were dead at all, right? It felt like it was moving.
Yeah, the live feeds I looked at, they look dead. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They look dead. I was like, where's the hell's everybody at?
Yep. But if you get a chance, Steve, watch one of our live feeds where we'll be in Reno, not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend. Watch the live feed in Reno and watch how quick people are going through the lanes.
Oh, I'll check it out. I'll check it out, because I know that there's people even here at local shows like in the Midwest, they 10-15 minutes to get all set up and everything in the lanes. And I heard you on the mic. You got, even with RP in the extreme bed, you got 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes. You know? Which I don't know if that's a rule, but you know, it's a.
So what it is we used to have full brackets for extreme cars. So can you imagine 8 cars like RP's bolting both doors, driver door, passenger door, checking humidity, doing all the stuff they got to do in their vehicles? I mean, can you imagine 8 of those vehicles? How long would that event take?
That would have been an hour. At least.
I remember,
right?
I remember when I did Surf City going against Lucas Paddle, and I mean, it was just me and him up there, and I was ready to rock. And man, he was taping every single thing off that little car, man. And I was just like, and that was my first big show. I never even seen anybody tape anything off at that point. I was like, what's he doing? Like, is this really going to help his score? Like, is this really going to do anything? And he stomped my ass, I think, by 10 dB. But yeah, the more they got to do, the longer it can take. So I can only imagine if if it was a bunch of people like him. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so let's get the elephant out of the room real quick. World record holder, pro stock 5K wall. So that in previous years, we had a very similar class, and it was called Street Max. Okay, so it's almost identical to what you're doing now. We even have power limits, and except we have battery limits was really the only difference back then.
Okay.
So tell us about your run, and after you tell us, then we'll watch a video. So I mean, for you personally, when you're coming to Slamology, you know what your number is. It ain't on accident that you pulled out. You know what the record is. You know the people that are going to be there. So what was your thought process in showing up to that event?
I came to Slamology. Usually I go there, I demo, and I compete. This year I came strictly to compete one class. I'm going to come run drag. I'm going to focus on that. So if you watch my qualifying run, I played at 55 hertz. And the windshield cracked a little bit.
Right.
And then 55 hertz isn't my peak. It's two tracks above my peak, as you saw in the final run. So I wanted to make sure that when I don't want to sound bad or anything, but I want to make sure when I did the world record run that the person who had the world record was in the lane next to me, if that makes sense.
Oh no, so Lucky's heard these stories, right? Lucky, when we do our basehead diaries about people priming somebody to be in the lane, and because in all truthfulness, a serious hardcore competitor, they aren't coming to a DB drag event to win. You had no intentions of winning. You didn't care if you won or not. Your 100% your intention was to go there and beat Aaron at the event. Am I wrong?
My intention was to set the record for sure.
Right.
Whatever it took to beat Aaron as well, and set the record. Because if he would have beat me, he would have set the record.
That's correct.
So
so your intention was to beat Aaron. You weren't going there just to get an easy win, right?
No. I actually need 75 points now to go to finals. So that was my first show ever. So yeah, I fully intended to win that show. And I prepped. If you go back to my Facebook profile, I prepped all week, just setting the van up just to run drag because it was set to run Midwest SPL last week. So yeah, I fully knew what it was going to do. I knew if you would have saw me in the back or my soundtrack, I was testing it all weekend to make sure it was still where it needed to be because it was hot. It was hot, and my van does not like heat.
No, it doesn't.
So if the hotter it gets, the quieter the van is. So I definitely I was watching it and I was trying to check the temperature. I knew it was going to be at 12 o'clock, right around the time I had to run. So I tested it at around the temperature that I knew it was going to be when I was in the lane. So I knew exactly what it was going to do.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, David.
That's an inside joke for us.
Brought my sandwich. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
But I got to tell you, I was pretty nervous. That's why that first hit, I waited till last second to try and get it over that 60.4 because I knew that was the record. So I think I did 60.5 with like 2 seconds left, and I was nervous. I thought I had 2 backup runs, but it turns out I didn't. That was my mistake. But
so that was mine and Jeremy's also. We had a different opinion. World record runs are not something we do every day. So. But Wayne made it very clear on what we're to do. Like I said, I've been doing it 21 years. And typically when someone has a world record run, it's very much in the same situation you were, where they just have one backup run and they usually do whatever they're going to do in that backup run. And honestly, on the West Coast, we don't have a bunch of world record runs very often at all. Maybe one every couple of years. The bulk of our competitors are really into demoing and base race and top dog. That's really our thing. Is it's a way for like-minded people to hang out and get together.
Oh yeah.
And not that they're. I mean, I am not going to take anything away. Not that there are not serious competitors, by all means, they are serious competitors. But their thoughts go more to how am I going to get that crowd, or how am I going to get that girl's hair to go this wide before it is how am I going to break my windshield, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hey, so while we're over here talking about this, let's go and watch his YouTube run, or his world record run. And this is about 1:15 long.
And that was Pro Stock 5K that you did that number in a Tahoe.
Yep, gotta close your hood.
Or not the Tahoe. I'm sorry, wrong vehicle.
Dodge Caravan.
My phone just
Caravan.
out after his,
Old school Caravan.
So then,
All
I
right,
mean,
so
that's
he's
the
gonna
class
try
I
and
used to
back this
compete
up.
in, you know, and the people that were smoking the hell out of
This
me
is
had like
Byron.
the CRXs and, you know, the Pandas and all that stuff.
then
Like,
you guys
how
want to
in
back
a
it up
caravan
with
with what,
Byron
not even 5,000
is,
watts, right? Wasn't it under 5,000?
Technically gets
4,800 watts.
so
48
watch this. Are you
3.7.
ready to go, sir?
The hell am I doing wrong,
Over this
Doug?
lane over there, we got
Jeez, dude.
DTX
You're not
Steve
purpose built.
trying to back up
Gosh.
his 160.5.
Caravans are very efficient vehicles, naturally.
160.5.
Yeah.
All right, watch up here for your start.
Yes,
Ready,
sir.
set, go.
So here he is doing his run. Is this the 170 or 160.7? Let's see.
The one Jay did, yeah, I believe it's
Yeah.
160.
So the current world record prior to this was 160.4.
160.7. 4,857
watts. 160.7.
160.7. Leave it closed. Another 3 seconds. Time!
You don't even look excited in this video. And I'll tell you, you know what the problem was? Is during that video, they did not, he did not do the, what's it called? He didn't get you right when you did your number. Because, dude, you were jumping all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Jay, I tried filming it. My phone literally went into heat protect right when you pulled in the lane. So my live feed shut down on me, you know?
Oh, I just got corrected right now. Sam Dunn was like he was doing a street stock 5K, not 5K wall.
Yes.
So I didn't, yeah, it's been so long since I did that one, and I wasn't even taking that into consideration, the whole wall factor. So
hey, you can do
there you
5K
go.
wall with your back window sealed.
Yeah. And I still can't come close to what he's doing. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep it where it's at. Yeah, but yeah, you're right, Sam Dunn. Absolutely. It's been a long time since I was in the 5K class. So, but yeah, wall compared to I was doing pro stock 5K no wall. Yeah.
Yep. So what so do you work on your own builds? Are you your team help you build this? How do you do that?
This van's been around for years. I did not build this van by any means. It's been gone through Dan Horner, Jay Coe had it, Sean Mayo had it for a brief moment. Beer Based Mafia owned it for a while. Actually, they built it.
Beer Based Mafia was the original builders.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole different animal from what it was back then, though. I mean, it's way louder now. Dan Horner won the Pro Stock 5K wall in 2018 with this exact same van.
Okay.
So, yep. So it's been around. It's been perfected. It's got 8 years of testing. I put, 8 months of testing into it now myself. Probably 2,500 burps to gain a few tenths. So, I mean, it's been around the block. It's been worked on for 8 years by guys that know what they're doing. So, I mean, I cannot take credit for it. But it's impressive. I mean, I have another caravan that I'm getting ready to work on now. It's a no wall van.
Okay.
Kind of like what Patrick Listener has.
Not familiar. Tonko Moya out here has one. Jeffrey Fernandez. Oh, by the way, did you see Jeffrey in the lanes there?
I did not.
Oh, so Jeffrey's really cool. So he's a West Coast competitor, and so he was the no walls champion, 164.3 all the way back in 2007. Okay. And nobody touched his score for a long time, right? But anyway, so he puts his arms together like this, and on the top here it says world, and on that it says champion. So he goes like this, and it says world champion. And so we kind of showed that off at the DB drag booth for a little bit. You might not have been in the lanes at the time. And
No.
if you don't know who Jeffrey is, he's now a DB drag judge. But ask Dan Horner about him. He was Dan Horner's driving factor. So that's really who Dan was chasing back in the day.
Oh, when he had the Ghostbusters van?
Yes. Yep. So I tried to get him to introduce, but he wouldn't come up to the tent. I was like, hey, Jeffrey's right here. Come meet him. And we couldn't get him up there, but that's cool. I mean, like I said, did you happen to watch any of the other runs? See, I don't know if you guys can tell. My voice is still a little hoarse from this weekend. But did you watch any of the other runs, really? Or did you just do yours and focus with your team and that's it?
No, I watched 5K Trunk.
Okay.
I watched RP Run.
Mm-hmm. Which
I watched
hit
Dan
him
Run.
first time over 182 or 183? 182, I think he did. 182.8,
He
right?
did here 183.1.
Oh, 183.1. That is correct. And then his
Correct.
backup was 182.8. It wasn't a world record, but man, there are so few vehicles in the entire world that can hit a 183.
It's an impressive build. I think it's got 16 compact Neo V1s, if I'm not mistaken, on God knows how many V2 Ravens. But it's an impressive build. I follow that one on Facebook all the time when he's rebuilding it and forklifting in the cage and all that fun stuff. So
yeah,
it's a fun one to watch. And him and Alan Dante, of course. Anything over 180 is impressive, no matter what it is.
Oh, we've invited RP to be on the Basehead Diaries, which is the one that Lucky does on Friday nights, and I kind of help co-host that one. This one I run because I'm talking more about the car show parts, the car stereo competition part. Speaking of which, let's go to the results, and let's see, bam, there we go. So let's look at the results from this weekend's event. I'll read them off to you guys. So let's go.
I'm going to start looking for some questions while you do that, actually.
Sure. So in Street Stock 500, Jennifer Belock, she came out and holy crap, she did a 146.8, which is really nice, 494 watts. I tried to convince her to try and get those last 6 watts, but she wouldn't do it. Second place, 144.8. Now, mind you, there's 116 competitors, and in Street Stock 500 there were only 2. So anybody has an opportunity to win, right? I mean, at least place. Let's go to Street Stock 1K. Top guy was 148.6, and third place was 142.4. All respectable numbers, definitely for the 1K class. 148.6 is pretty solid. Let's see where we at with the 2K. Super Streets, No Walls, X, Freestyle. 2K must be up top. Boom. There we go. Pro Stock 2K, we only had one competitor, did 149.1. Here's the sound check guys. They came in force at this event. 156.6 at Pro Stock 5K. And I believe Kenneth was telling me he was considering coming out West Coast. And we have a gentleman that competes out here by name of Daniel Valdez. Or Leo Valdez.
Leo, you're talking about Leo Valdez?
Yeah, Leo Valdez. Leo would love to see him in Pro Stock 5K or Pro Stock No Limit. Just saying. That team Ain't Loud Sam. Either one of you guys. If you guys let us know you're coming to the West Coast, we'll build a car to have to give you some competition in these lower classes. But in the Pro Stock 5K, we're looking at Soundcheck Kenneth, our top guy at 56.6. Fourth place, Austin Sal with a 145.7. When we got to the No Limit, 160.9 by Team Ain't Loud Sam. Totally respectable score. I mean, shoot, that's louder than you were.
Correct. And a no wall.
in a no wall setup. Yeah.
What was the score?
160.9.
Hmm.
Soundcheck Mike was actually louder with a 62.4. He's the current world record holder. I can't remember what his number was, but what happened was, he smashed the record. I believe no, that wasn't Mike. That was we'll get to him. No, but Mike did a 162.4, but then had equipment failure and couldn't finish it up and lost to Sam in the finals. And Longstreet was our final guy at 147.8, but that was a daily driven little silver car. In freestyle, did you have a chance to watch any of the freestyle stuff?
I did.
Steve?
I did. I did. It was it was the one where it was door open, mic anywhere forward to the B pillar, right? In the globe.
That's correct. Very much like USAC. So you can either be the globe or you can have it on the glass in what we call the official position, right? So you could have it there or not. We had quite a few competitors. We had 39 people enter that class. Right here, our top guy was 154.1. That was Alexander Desmond. And, that was mostly the new guys just wanting to try it out.
154.1 in what class?
This was the freestyle. Pro Stock No Limit Freestyle, which meant it was basically a Pro Stock or a Street Stock car. And there was no power limit, and it was a USAC with the globe and all that stuff.
Okay.
Or you can put it on the dash, your choice. Window, door open, whatever you want.
Right.
Let's see. We're at Pro Stock Trunk 5K. Oh, those guys got loud out of the trunk. 56.6 was Chad Flatbox Bleak. Bleaky. No, Bleak. I think it was Bleak.
Bleak.
Yeah, Bleak. And he did a 156.6 up against Team Synergy Customs doing a 156.5. That was a great run if you weren't out there in the lanes for that one. I mean, they were just kind of stair-stepping each other, and then at the end, Bleak just ended up ahead. I mean, that's awesome. Bottom guy in that class, Vernon, did a 144.5. Pro Stock Wall, here it is. Steve with a 160.7, but the record's only a 160.5. Very nicely done. Aaron did a 160.0. So that was second place. And then when you get all the way down here to the bottom, Mr. Nathan Potter, which someday we will have him on the other show because Nathan's been around longer than I have in this DB drag stuff, and he just comes out to have fun. Do you know Nathan, Steve?
I don't.
You know what? If you get a chance to meet Nathan, great dude, and honestly, he's there to have fun. The other one, do you know Pop Tart Wheel?
I do. He's a teammate of mine.
Oh yeah. See that? You know what? I would say Nathan and Pop Tart are on about the same level.
Okay.
Those guys, whether they win or lose, I mean, absolutely they come and they would love to win. But it don't matter. They have a blast when they go out and play every time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what kind of vehicle does Nathan Potter drive?
You know what? He was driving like a Ford Festiva or something at this last show.
Okay.
And his amps were in Protect, and he did a 136.6. So he just came to get points and have fun,
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, if you guys are watching on a different page, remember to share, like, and give us as much love as you can. And we can only see your questions if they're on the Sonic FX page. So whether you're watching this on YouTube, listen to it on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, however you're listening, make sure you like this and share it. Let's get this out into the world so they can see the stuff that we do and how much we enjoy what we do. Let's see here.
Tristan Paris was asking from SQ Sounds in Bridgetown, Barbados, what all equipment are you running?
For DB Drag, I was running 6 compact Neo V2s with dread cones and a Sound Digital Evo X 20K on a 160 amp hour Yingluo lithium.
Okay.
Generally, I run 6 Salt 6s for other orgs, 1 per sub.
Yep. So which Sound Digital are you running?
The Sound Digital Evo X 20K, the new one.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's another.
I'm actually using one of those right now.
He is. We're gonna talk to you when this is all over a little bit. So up here we got Robert Collier, Caller, sorry, on for what's the class Super Street 1 to 2, 170.2. I mean that's a number, right? That's awesome. Sound check Kyle right behind him with a 68.4, all the way down to seventh place with a 143.4. Super Street 3 to 4. Holy crap, Dante. So Psych Ward David, he was like, "What? I won?" He had a gorgeous vehicle. Did you see his? Did you guys happen to see his podium he had?
I didn't see the podium.
Oh, so it mounted right on the side of the truck, but it was like a skull or a melted face or something like that, all fiberglass. It was actually really cool.
What kind of vehicle did he have?
You know what? I think he had like the Extreme Blazer.
Okay.
Like one of the smaller ones, and it looked like it had a wrap or it had a really expensive paint job on it, you know, that had like flames. It was orange and black and yellows.
Oh yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. That's an expensive build there.
That's not a cheap build. But he was going against Soundcheck Dante. Freaking Dante comes out, destroys the world record. Currently, the world record is like a 168.3 or something, and Dante comes out and shoots 172.8. It's Sam said it's a Bravada, and it's all paint. So if you guys have a chance, check out Psych Ward David's vehicle. It is a phenomenal paint job if that's all paint.
Psych Ward David?
Yes, Psych Ward David, yep. But Soundcheck Dante, dude, he smashed the record by 4 dBs. Dude, that's a lot. I mean, it was awesome to see Steve beat the record by a 1/10. He did it by 4 dBs.
I don't know. I think it's a lot cooler when you can beat somebody by a 1/10. That's just way more. I don't know. That's interesting as hell to me. But when somebody gets stomped on, it's like, yeah, you know, yeah.
It's really fun to watch that vehicle run the lanes because it gets so much hate online about it. That's that really tall Terra that they built.
Yes, that's that big white Terra that's like 16 feet tall or something.
It's taller than my 2500. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
And whose is that?
Team Soundcheck Dante.
Team what?
Team Soundcheck Dante. So, but he blew everything in his semifinal run, and so then he had to go up in the next round, and he did like a 152 on his turn-on pop, and Psych Ward David beat him because you know anything can happen in the lanes, right?
Yep.
And then low guy Chris Hansen, you know the guy from To Catch a Predator was there.
Chris Hansen was there?
Yeah, that was the guy's name. I kept saying, "Are you going to ask us to sit down and have a talk with you? Tell us we can leave anytime we like."
Was Tom Selleck there?
Tom Selleck. Hey, so Steve, we have a gentleman that competes out here. His name's Tom Selleck.
I heard a Tom Selleck and a Kris Jenner on one of your shows.
There are. We have Tom Selleck and Kris Jenner at a lot of our shows.
I was like, it's California.
Yeah. And then let's go Super Street 5 Plus. We got Bo Borden with another 172. Look at all these 170 plus guys out here, right? That's what happens when you get shows that are that big. You know, Team Orion right behind him with a 159.6. Final guy in the Super Street 5 Plus 147.8. Super Street No Wall. Here you are. Are you ready for this, Lucky?
Yeah, go ahead.
Top guy, Dan Warner, Team DTX Dan, 170.4.
That's awesome. I'm quitting after this.
I'm 1 amp at about 18K power.
Oh, hey, Tom Selleck's in the chat right now.
Yeah, I was watching that.
And now listen to this, Lucky. Number 3 in the final competitor at that No Wall event, 154 even, John Hannigan. And
he was in what place? Third?
So you could have snuck into second place on this one, or third, because 157.5 was second place. And you would have been competitive, right?
Yeah, 156.1 was what I was doing. I don't know
Yep.
what I'm doing now, but yeah,
Yeah.
156.1.
So, and then we go to Super Street X. Martin Suarez, he had a beautiful blue truck out there at that event. In case you guys didn't see it, definitely saw it on my live feed a few times. Rick Garcia says his no wall goal is 170.5. He's got that old van. He might be able to. He's got a caravan too, Steve.
I'll tell you, Horner's Fiorino will do a lot more than 170.4 though, or 170.5.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
Oh, everybody knows Hank used to have it.
I know. So anyway, Martin Suarez. So this is what we have a lot of out here in California. Super Street X guys, 160.4, and the bottom place 7, 151.8. So I mean, you're 8 dBs between first and 8th place. So approximately a 1 dB shift for every place. It's actually pretty tight. That's good running. And then we had the extreme. Or the Super Street guys for that freestyle class. Top guy 157.8. That was Josh Messer, and the bottom guy was 141.8. So those were our scores. So Lucky, did you get any questions in the chat?
No, just what equipment he was running, and we got that one. Let's see here. Sam Dunn said he's coming for the Pro Stock No Limit record. Let's see, 16 Compact, 16 Ravens. Yeah. The problem is a lot of people don't watch from the Sonic FX page, and that's why we stress so much to people. You got to join the Sonic FX page. If you don't, we will not see your questions and be able to, fill you in on stuff. So
yeah, but no. So I mean, like I said, so how much work do you? So what do you do as far as working on your vehicle, the technical stuff?
Oh God. Last week alone, I had the subs out till about Thursday evening. I went through. I had done a lot of testing already on it, so I knew what was going on. I basically had to set it up for drag versus other orgs. So I went ahead and got that sound digital in there. I had to rewire behind the wall, pull the subs. I resealed everything. Had to swap out seats because I usually run Recaro racing seats in there on stock pedestals.
You got to have stock ones. That's right. Yay. And we even question it, right?
Correct. So I put the stock seats back in it. I had to find a set of visors. I did not have. I don't know if that's a rule, but I wanted to make sure that they were in there.
So it is. I will tell you, and we help you modify your vehicle if you don't like. Well, you could tape a piece of cardboard in there or something to approximate it. But we totally appreciate that you actually got all your pieces in there and whatnot. Lucky always likes to say, he's not the technical guy. He doesn't work on his car. But ask him what he's been doing the last 3 days.
Working on my fucking car. Yeah. Trying to get my stuff dialed in. So yeah.
So I actually had to put another windshield in earlier this week too before Slam. So that windshield that was in it was a fresh windshield.
And that one cracked out.
Yeah, but it cracked just a little bit. So I'm gonna leave that one in there. It's got a few good wax left on it. Those visors actually I stole off my Ram van that I'm building for No Wall. So so now I robbed Peter to pay Paul type deal. I actually didn't have time. I have another 240 amp hour Yinglong bank sitting in my basement right now that I didn't have time to install. So that's why I only ran with a 160. So the voltage after like 3 runs there, the last was a little questionable, but it was high 13s. But on that, it like I said, that van has been around the block a few times, so it didn't need much to be competitive. So I basically just try things that other people haven't tried in the past. All the people who own this van are buddies of mine. So I question, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? And if they haven't, I go back out and I try it. I live out in the country, so I can kind of test stuff right here at my house, which is nice.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah. So I live in semi-rural Missouri, about 45 minutes outside of St. Louis. So I have the luxury of testing here in my driveway when I want to. My neighbors are kind of cool about it. So I gave it a few whacks to make sure it was where it needed to be, to set the world record. Actually, the heat killed me a little bit because I could have. It can do a slightly better score with cooler temps. So,
Yep.
but other than that, I just basically went through everything, make sure it was solid and ready to go. I did do that foil tape, which is good for about a 10th gain on it. You see in my background here.
Yes.
It's not usually set up like that. So I basically went through and tried to fine tune everything I could to set it up for slam. Other than that, I test it probably 3 or 4 nights a week, just trying different things because you never know what stupid little thing will.
Oh yeah, no,
game for you,
I'm gonna help you
I-
out when we're done with this thing here. When we get all done, I'm gonna tell you a little secret you're gonna like. All right.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
saying. So, because I used to be a competitor, right?
Mhm.
I was the 3rd guy in my class to hit a 150.
Mhm.
You got to understand, this is way back in in late 90s, early 2000s, and I was in 212's 1,000-watt class.
Oh yeah.
And I doing this in a station wagon. So Matt Bransoy did it in a CRX, and everybody swore it's because it was a yellow CRX. The yellow gave it 2 dB gain.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like my decals.
That's right. The decals give it a 2 dB gain, right?
Mhm.
So, share the secret, Doug. That's what Chris Jenner's saying. So, here's the thing. This isn't a
Get your pens
secret.
and paper.
This isn't necessarily a secret. And for Chris Jenner's vehicle or 99.9% of the people that compete on the West Coast, this is really, you have to have a very finely tuned vehicle for this to work. So I'll help you out with a little bit. I mean, and it's not necessarily something I saw somebody else do, but it's through some testing I did. I built an extreme vehicle. I built a Super Street 5 Plus. I've built a Super Street 1 to 2 vehicle. I built a stock vehicle. So with those things, like I said, I'll give you a little something that'll that and I will tell the people that have watched this is our 15th episode on this, not including all the episodes that we've done. What are we on, like 31 or something like that for
31.
Basehead Diaries? So between these two things, this one tip has been brought out before. You guys just might not have caught it. Is all I'm gonna say.
Did you let it out, or did somebody else let it out?
I think I brought it out on somebody else. I think I mentioned it, and they said, "Oh yeah, that makes a difference," and that's what I do.
Now I'm gonna think about that one.
All right.
Now I'm gonna try to think about
Is
that.
it something I did, or did you see me do it?
No, sir. You absolutely did not.
Okay.
No, that's why I said he's gonna help you out and give
I'm
you a
gonna
little
help you
secret
out.
afterwards.
I'm gonna show you where you still got a half a dB without even changing anything in your vehicle.
I kind of remember. I don't remember it, but I remember that conversation. I remember
You might remember it. I'm just saying.
I remember that little conversation coming up. I know I just got to think of what it was.
Yep. So anyway, when we're all done with this, I'll share it with you. You'll like it.
Okay.
Okay. But needless to say, like I said,
for what class? For what class?
It has to be a finely tuned vehicle.
But what class?
It has to be a finely tuned vehicle.
Okay. All right.
When you stop getting gains, it makes a difference. But if you are still tuning and changing and getting gains, this won't make a difference at all for you. I love keeping people in the dark. It's so fun. Hey, I will tell you guys also, as a judge, I don't look inside of vehicles and share anybody's secrets or anybody's information. Honestly, Steve, I looked inside your vehicle. I verified your vehicle, right? For once you set your record. Right now, I couldn't tell you if you had 1 sub or 9 subs in there. Okay.
You know what I have. You can look right behind me.
Well, I see 3
I was just
or
about
2.
to say that. I was just about to say that.
I think I see 3.
I wasn't even there, and I'll tell you.
But honestly, I couldn't tell you how big your box is. The only reason I know you were running 1 amp is because we checked it and you had 2 conductors off of 1 amp, and you had like 17 amps in there. but you only had one for DB drag. Every other amp was disconnected from power 100%. I couldn't tell you how many batteries you had. I couldn't tell you nothing about your box other than it was a wall and it had subwoofers in it, and it was loud as hell.
Well, Lucky, how many subs do I have in that van? Nobody ever gets it right.
I mean, well, to be honest, from what I can see, it looks like 1 or 2. Okay, it looks like, move your head a little bit. Looks like 2. Nope, never mind. So I see another one underneath it. So that ain't a sub on the far side, is it? It's, what is it, 2?
Nope.
Or do you have more behind the seat?
Yep.
Everybody always thinks I have 415s.
But he's got
okay.
There's actually 6 of them in there.
Really?
So it looks like I see the tape, but it looks flat. So is there actually a sub right there? Because I can see the dust cap on the other 2, but on the third hole, it looks like it's flat right there. So is that just the way your picture is, or
it's 6 subs stacked 3 high, 2 wide. You got the 4 that are parallel to each other, and then the top 2 are tilted a little bit to the side.
Can you see the dust cap on that, Doug, or am I tripping?
So I can see the 2 dust caps.
Right, but not the third one, right?
No.
The third one looks like just flat. I think it's that glare on your camera, to be honest with you, or the window, maybe when you took the picture.
Well, yeah, it's also taped up window, right?
But I would have never guessed. Oh, that's what it is. It's the tape. But I would have never guessed that, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that every people actually have sat in my van, looked at it straight on, and they go, oh yeah, you're 415s. I go, no, there's 6. There's 2 behind the seat that nobody ever sees.
So like I said, I would never even pay attention to that because that has nothing to do with the rules, right? I don't care how many subs you have. As long as you meet the intent and all the rules, I don't care about anything else. So people think I don't look through their cars. I promise you, when I got in your car or I put a mic in somebody's car, I looked through their entire car in that 15, 20 seconds that I was in there to verify what was coming up to the lane was what I was expecting to see.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know Slam's a good show. So is that your favorite show? I'm not talking DB drag. I'm talking car audio altogether. What is your favorite?
It is not my favorite show, actually.
Okay.
My favorite show by far is the Sundown Show.
Okay.
I really enjoy that. And it's not so much this. I enjoy the Sundown Show. I'm friends with Jacob Fuller. I really like all that show. I like the guys out there. I like the vibe of the show. But I also make a family vacation every year with that one. So I stay 10 days and I go out with my wife to Myrtle Beach or Wine Country, whatever, out in North Carolina. Okay. So it's always it's a Sundown Show for 2 days, which is the first day is just like meeting everybody, and it's actually a 1-day show on the Saturday. And then I spend the rest of the time on vacation with my family. So that's why that's my favorite show.
Have you ever been to Surf City?
That's way too far away for me.
I kind of thought that, but I wanted to ask because that's just like people who fly over, to go to Slamology. So I didn't know if you ever would do something like that or whatnot. So
I'd be interested in going out to see it. I wouldn't be able to bring my vehicle out there.
Right, right.
No, he's going to come out here for World Finals. He's going to enter DB Drag World Finals West Coast side in the 5K wall class.
I mean, it would be kind of cool to be different from everybody and make it go out that way versus going to, I think it's in Alabama this year.
Yeah, same place as Triple Fest.
Yep. So it'd be cool to go out west versus going down south, which I've done before.
That's a hell of a trek. I will say that, especially towing a vehicle. And if you're into the wine country thing, hey, we might have some wines around here. Just saying, right, Lucky?
I bet.
Right.
And actually where we do the finals is in Sacramento area, and that's only 45 minutes from Napa, or an hour at most.
Okay.
And if you like to drink wine, Napa's good, but Stockton, Lodi are very good wine areas. Absolutely up here. So
we got a lot of cool liquor stores too, man. Where you
drive through.
Right.
we got those in Missouri.
Hey, and if you're looking for a tattoo, I know a guy out in Stockton.
I actually have some really good tattoo work that a guy out in Chicago, because I'm from Chicago originally, that he did portraits of my 2 daughters. I had quarter sleeves on each arm of my daughters.
Nice.
which they're really good. You know, it's hard to find a good portrait artist.
Yeah.
So he let me tell you, 14 hours in the chair they'll get to you each time.
Oh yeah. So you sat for 14 hours straight, huh?
I did it each time. I did 14 hours straight.
Twice.
Jeez.
Twice.
Dude. So I had my whole head done, and I sat 4 days in a row, 5 hours a day, and did my whole entire head. But that was nothing. But 14 hours in one session. That's just
well, after about hour 8, you can't feel anything anymore, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
Bullshit. Huh.
I didn't, anyways. Everything was numb. It hurt for a little bit, and then after a while, I couldn't even feel it anymore.
Yeah, you do get to a spot where you get numb. I do tattoos, so
yeah, he's a tattoo artist. So what is your specialty though, really, Lucky, or do you?
Black and gray. I wouldn't say like there's
guy.
Yeah, they're not like hyper realism or anything like that. Like I don't mess with portraits.
Let's see it, Steve.
You want
to see one?
Hell
like
yeah.
I did.
Here's my oldest one, Nicole. I don't know if you could.
Oh no, that comes in good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I have Amelie, which has been retouched. I haven't gone in and have it finished actually yet. But that's my other daughter. I don't know if you can see that in there.
Yep.
But
no, we can see it. That's grayscale.
Nice. It was done by a guy named Khalid from Area 51 Tattoo, just outside of Chicago.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, Lucky's got more tattoos than that. on his finger.
I got garbage all over me, man. We were practicing on each other since we were kids. Since I was 14, and I'm like 40 something right now, 43, I think.
Well, my my wife probably has 40, 45 tattoos. She goes every other week to get them. She's like addicted to it.
We joke about that at tattoo shops, the whole that we joke when people know how many, no offense, when people say how many tattoos you got, because we got so many, we just say one, you know what I mean? We're covered. So
hey,
well, she does little ones every time,
right? Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Lucky does little ones on his face, so
yeah. It's funny. I get called like Post Malone and all these new rappers that are coming out there tattooing their face and stuff. They don't realize I've had this shit done way before they even started rapping. Yeah.
Tristan Post Malone's probably 10 years younger than you too. You probably had tattoos before he was born.
Yeah, right.
Tristan says you're gonna hook her and Tiffany up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, him and Tiffany up. When they come to town, said Lucky's gonna hook us up when we come to the States.
Absolutely.
So one other thing we like to do on this car audio thing, I am gonna get to the upcoming shows coming up, but first off, I do want to ask you. So we like to ask the competitors mistakes. If there's a brand new competitor. Now, you're not a new competitor because you've been doing it for a while. You're just new to DB Drag. But mistakes that competitors make, a new person coming into the lanes for the first time or going to their first show, what would you say, hey, this is a mistake I made and this is a way to avoid it?
Sounds like he didn't make no mistakes. He got all his ducks in a row, but I mean, it was your first time and then you break a record. I mean, I don't know if he has any mistakes to give out. Shit.
Well, I was a new competitor one time. My biggest mistake that I made when I was doing it is I would be unprepared. I spend a week before a show preparing. When I was a younger guy and first competing, I would show up to the show. I'd be like, oh, this song sounds good. I'm going to play this. And just run through the lane, And as you know, a song choice could be 5 dBs depending on what it is.
Right.
So I would say it's not necessarily your song choice or your tone choice or whatever. You should at least prepare yourself enough to know what your peak frequency is, what kind of songs you should play, bass lines, to meet the rules, because different orgs have different rules on, you get 15 seconds before you need to have a break or whatever the case may be. I think DB Drag can't be modified music. So I would just say, prepare yourself as much as you can for an early competitor. For a first time competitor, I mean, I would say just get to know the judges, see what they kind of look for. When I pulled up to lanes, I just pulled up. I didn't register. I didn't do anything. I just pulled up. I said, okay, throw the meter in the car. I'm going to go. I would say just, talk to the judges, figure out kind of what they want to do, how they want to do it, what their suggestions are. Because most judges could tell you right offhand what the common mistakes are, and they could help you correct that before you even get in the lanes. So that'd be my advice.
How am I at helping people with frequencies in their vehicle, Lucky?
Shitty.
I know.
No, he's good. Yeah, Doug's always helpful. Yeah, I love his shows. Real helpful and all that. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of him.
I do have a piece of advice for the veteran competitors though that I see
Sure.
a lot. The kind if you notice how I ran the quarterfinals, I ran against a guy who had like a vehicle did 150s or something on 5K, and I stopped at a 155, 156, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into the lanes and you go all out against somebody who you know you're going to beat, you're going to kind of discourage them if you beat them by 15 dB right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So I always try, unless it's like a world record run or something, I always try and keep it close. Mm-hmm. Like, you can still win your class, but you don't have to walk them, by 15 dB. It's not necessary. Yep. I feel like that's like when I was a newer competitor and I would lose by 10 dB to somebody, I didn't want to compete again.
Right.
So in order to grow the sport, I feel like, that's a common mistake that people like to go out and just, go 0 to 100 every time and stomp everybody. I feel like that's a big mistake. You need to try and grow the sport and, kind of keep it competitive, keep it close, keep it flowing,
That's why I'm glad I didn't get discouraged again. I always talk about Lucas Paddle, man. That was an experience for me right there. But I'm glad I didn't go that route because he did, man. He spanked me. I don't know if it was 10 dB, but I'll tell you this: it was 5 or 7 or 10. It was enough where I was just like, holy shit. But I had so much fun with it. Really, it was just. I'm glad I didn't get discouraged by that because if there was a time that would have been it to get spanked that high of a number. Oh man, that was just humiliating. I backed out of that lane because I came in there with my truck it looks like a fucking Hot Wheel. You know what I mean? It looks way louder than it is. It gets so much attention. Then I pull up in there. What did he have? The Panda, the one with the jigsaw guy with the jigsaw bike.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is this little thing gonna do? What's this thing gonna do against me, man? And he showed me. he showed me what that tape was gonna do.
He's a teammate of mine too, actually. Lucas.
He's a what?
He's a teammate.
Awesome. He's awesome, dude. Yeah, he got one of my bass knobs from me, man. When I owned SPL Junkie, it was SPL Cartel bass knob, but then I had my brand put on there at the time, SPL Junkie, and he got one of them. Yeah, he's awesome, man. I see him at Surf when I go out there. So, yeah.
So you can, like, for me, when I host my events, I really lean on guys that are big long time competitors. Somebody like you or somebody like Lucky or you guys being the long time competitor, world record holder, ring holder, somebody that's a champion. You guys are the biggest reason people come back. I always push new competitors to go meet with you guys. I don't want them to meet with me. I'm a judge. I'm impartial, but to get plugged into the community and have a greater understanding of what we do, the veterans, there is nothing better than you guys bringing in. And I've seen times where veterans push people out, and I think that's just, hey, no, this is our team thing, and this is and they huddle together, and that's bad for us, right? I will tell you on the West Coast in general, if you say Lucky goes up in there and he comes in and he does a 162 against you, right? Just out of nowhere, Lucky got lucky and does a 162 in his truck. He would absolutely jump right out of his truck, celebrate, yeah, and then he would go over and he would shake your hand. And we really push that on the West Coast. Hey, you know what? Win, lose, whatever. You guys go out. Hey, great job, especially to a new guy. Yeah. Having somebody who just set a world record come over, shake his hand, and go, dude, hey, nice run. I was where you were one time. You can be here too. Yep. That goes miles for those people, you know?
Absolutely. Actually, at our local shows, our local Midwest SPL shows, our judge, Pip Laswell, he he actually coaches people that after every run, you shake hands with the competitor every lane. It's a learned thing. So now it's just natural. Locally, even if you hate the guy that you run against, you should still shake their hand.
And when you watch our live feeds on the West Coast, you'll see that we do that too. It's really important because, like I said, my events, you didn't hear me cuss on the microphone once. I know you weren't paying attention, but you didn't hear me cuss on the microphone, right? I don't do that. That's not my thing. I want this to be a family event. I love that. Oh, you know what we missed? We missed those little girls. Did you happen to see the little girls do their Power Wheels?
Power Wheels? Oh yeah, I watched that.
Dude, that's awesome, right? So that's on my Facebook page. If you guys want, you can watch back and go onto the Sonic FX Facebook page. Go down. It says it's supposed to be Miss Evelyn and Miss I forgot the other young lady's name, but it was a younger sister, older sister. They dressed alike. The older sister helped the younger sister set up her vehicle to run. That's what we're totally into. And that's what drives me. Huh?
Those some of those Power Wheels do mid 50s too. I don't know what those two did, but I've seen them do mid upper 50s.
You're just discouraging Lucky there.
I mean, seriously, I'm like, Jesus, dude. Mid upper 50s on the Power Wheels glass.
I saw a guy with a golf cart pull up and do like a 108 or something like that. I was waiting for something like just crazy sounding to come out of it. Was that just for fun, or was he being like
no?
For real,
so
real?
he's putting his points together to go to World Finals in the Bagger Beats class.
Gotcha. What was it? A 108 or?
I don't even. Oh, you know what? I could pull that up right now. Let me see if I still got it.
I thought it was a 108 point something.
Let's see if he put him in here. Base boxing. I know the Bagger Beats results have not been uploaded, and that's my fault because I forgot to do the what's it called? I forgot to create an archive for it, so that's my fault. But I didn't get anybody to take me up on Beat the Boss. That's all I'm saying.
That's shocking. As many people were there, shit.
Yep.
Hey, so what was the payout for? So Top Dog, right? So
no, so they don't do Top Dog there because they think it takes too long.
Oh, yeah.
So
we've had similar situations at Surf City.
I know. So they haven't been to a show that I run, right? So
I was gonna say, what a payout that would be. Jeez.
Oh, you know what? I bet you for Top Dog, I could have had 30 people in that.
Yeah, what would that have paid out?
Jeez. So 30 times 5, right? So that's 1,500, right?
God.
Yeah, we paid 1,500 for first. All right, so now I am going to go back. I'm going to talk about the upcoming shows this week. Let's see. Unlock the calendar. Close out.
Sorry, I wasn't too engaged in this conversation. Everybody watching, I was more just listening to what's going on. They had a pretty smooth conversation going, so I was more or less just listening to what you guys were talking about. So, sorry for just being a third wheel here on this one and not really engaging too much.
No, Lucky, you engage fine, sir. I appreciate you co-hosting with me. You do bring an extra little thing to this show for sure. So we're looking this coming weekend in Madrid, Spain. If you guys wanted to fly over the pond, we have a show, a 3X, the 19th in Madrid. Then we have a 1X in Poland. Not that we got anybody in Poland. Then we got Spain again. So we're in Spain twice the next 2 weeks. Bay City, Michigan. For you guys in the Midwest, there's a show, a 2X in Bay City, Michigan, Czech Republic. Sparks, Nevada, June 26th. That one's going to be a 1X show.
That's next week. Is that next weekend?
That is not this coming weekend, but
the
next
following. Weekend. The following weekend.
Sir.
Okay. All right.
Then we got July. So here's where stuff's going to get interesting. On July 2nd, we're going to be in Fresno. That's going to be a Friday night show again.
Jay's
Alarms. Everybody knows Jay does a good thing. I believe he pays $2 per DB to the winner of Deathmatch for this event. Then we're going to go down here. Let's see. We got Waterton, Wisconsin. That's not too far from Chicago, I bet. Knoxville, Tennessee. So there's a 2X in Wisconsin if you're heading that way. Texas has Holtom City, Texas has a 3X. Jacksonville, Florida has a 3X on the 17th of July. Redlands, California, that's LA. They have a 1X. Lansing, Michigan has a 1X. Once again, the Czech Republic doing a show. The 17th and 18th, like I said, Jacksonville, Florida. That's one I'm sure you'll be at, Steve, right?
No.
You won't be at that? How are you going to get your 100 points?
At Jacksonville, I'll probably be at the XS Power show there in Knoxville in July.
I don't see a multi-point in Knoxville here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 3X. It's the XS Power show.
They just haven't upgraded it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 1X in Knoxville right now. And that's on the 10th.
Yep. I'll be at DB for Diabetes on July 31st, I think it is.
So, and that's in Montgomery, Alabama, right?
No, that's in
Russellville, Kentucky.
Waupun, Wisconsin.
Okay, so that's not loaded online yet. So this July 24th, there's Crestview, Florida, is a 3X. This is the 24th is also the weekend of the Sky High Barbecue. We are going to make the Sparks event because to change it and all that, it will be a major pain in the butt. We are going to change that event to a 3X for the Sparks, Nevada at Baldini's on July 24th. Look for that to come up the next day or two. Let me make sure here for
3X.
Yes, sir. 3X Sparks, Nevada, the 24th. That's my next upcoming event for 3X. Let's see, July. Then Fresno the 6th. We're gonna move that possibly to the 13th because Reno wants to do another 3X on Saturday, August 7th.
Who's throwing those shows?
The first one is Baldini's wants to step up and make it a 3X.
Oh, so they're actually throwing the show. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sweet.
And then on the 7th, Josh is setting up with a car club that wants to host an event just outside of Reno for a 3X.
Nice.
Remember, we got to get 100 points for the new guys so they can go to World Finals here on the West Coast since we have it again. I'm excited for you guys.
I'm super pumped. Oh, man, I'm super pumped.
So those are our next few shows coming up in the next couple of months. And remember, Chemo's probably going to post some events along with me and look for upgraded events. I know Nyman is talking about doing a show, I believe, on the 31st. So Saturday night, July 31st, is where we're talking probably coming back and doing a late night show at Nyman's.
Nice.
So just keep that in mind. And like I said, remember, let's get our points for World Finals. For us on the West Coast, let's show up and show out. The last World Finals here, we had almost 200 cars or just over 200 cars in the parking lot. 62 of those cars qualified for World Finals. 20 competed at the event. Only 20.
That's sad. Yep.
So let's show up and show out. Let's show Wayne Harris, the DV Drag, and the rest of the guys. I mean, DTX Steve, I guarantee Steve would love to see a show out here with 100 cars, even if he wasn't participating in it.
For sure.
He just wants to see the people participate. He wants to grow the sport just like the rest of us. If we don't grow the sport, we lose the sport.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is what this whole thing is about. I could walk away anytime. I've been doing it 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you would miss me, so.
Well, I would miss Dave bringing you sandwiches.
I gotta eat this thing.
Because he's your girl. So here's what it is. So Dave and Lucky, they go head to head in base race and top dog in the lanes.
Okay.
And Lucky thinks he owns Dave. So he makes Dave make him a sandwich.
And he thinks he owns me. We go back and forth, man. We got a lot of love for each other. We started off hating each other in the beginning and turned into a really good friendship. So now it's just like this ongoing thing, nonstop. If he posts anything at all, or I post anything at all, it's going to be some type of picture with a 139.9 or a 129.9 going back and forth, So yeah, so I always tell him make me a sandwich. So yeah, he came over and made me a sandwich while I was doing the show. So yeah.
All right, Steve. Hey, we ran a little long today. We went an hour and 15 minutes. We put in a lot of information. We got to meet Steve, one of Team DTX. I mean, DTX, everybody that I met part of that team, great people. Like I said, Dan Horner, guy I've known for a very long time. Awesome people. Hit him up on Facebook. Do you have any plugs you need to put in, Steve?
Not really. You hit it with Dan Horner. Hit up directronics.net if you need to get any recones or anything from Sundown refurbs, any of that stuff. He's your man on that. Sundown Audio. I mean, they've always been very supportive of me. Member of Team Sundown Audio as well. On that, no, I'm just happy that you guys wanted to hear me ramble on for a little while.
Oh, we appreciate you here, Lucky.
Appreciate you, man.
Any final thoughts, Lucky?
Make sure you guys get on Sonic FX. Make sure you join this. Hopefully we helped you guys out a little bit, learn a little something, and get some more people involved in anything car audio. Come to some shows, check them out, spread this live feed, spread it around. The more people that accept it, the more the word gets out, and the more competitors we bring in. So,
yep. And also remember, like and share this video as much and as often as you can, whether it's on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, however you listen to your things. We have the audio only available on those formats. We have the video on here. We also have the video. It'll be posted on YouTube coming up as soon as we're done here. Other than that, get out and compete. I don't care if it's DB Drag or not. It could be USAC, IASCA, Midwest SPL. Get out, become part of the community. I guarantee these guys are great. The gals that are here, I mean, we had so many ladies that were competing at Slamology too.
That's awesome.
These people, this is a community. It truly is. And it's just like a family. There's some of them you're going to hate. You're absolutely going to despise those people. But in the end, I guarantee if someone needs help, we're going to go and help them. And that's typically what happens with this community. And really the arms stretch wide. Gary Killian's a great example. All over the country, Gary was down on his luck pretty hard for a little bit, and everybody came and bought. He wasn't asking for a handout. Buy his rubs. Buy his rub. Yeah, Gary will personally come over and rub you a little bit. And,
you didn't? Did you see Gary Killian out there by any chance? Did you see him?
Yeah,
he popped in the booth.
Oh no! I know.
No. Did you see the video of him in the
Sky High booth?
Sky High booth.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him and his ass over there. Yeah. Oh, he went over there and just straight dropped draws, dude. Straight bent over, ass hanging out, bare ass. And what was it, John Robbie? I couldn't tell. It was
John Robbie.
It was him that did it. Yeah, and took the Sky High little the pill and stick tattoos, or whatever. Yep. And smacked him on his ass. And gave him like 2 or 3 Sky High little pill and stick tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah.
$20, right?
That's right.
Right.
However you make it.
What was crazy is when I heard him say that I think somebody commented or something that they couldn't believe he was going to get a tattoo, and I go, "You got to be shitting me! They're doing tattoos out there." And then when I see what happened, then I'm busting up laughing. I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! This is great."
All right, guys.
They have a tattoo contest.
What was that?
They have a tattoo contest at Slamology.
Shit! Now you have to go.
No, you broke up on that. They did what?
They have a tattoo contest at Slamology.
Now you have to go.
So at the show they were tattooing.
I don't know if they were tattooing at the show. I know they have a tattoo contest. I don't know if it's completed work or what it is.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I got to find out about that. That'd be interesting. I would like to hope that it was finished work being displayed. Yeah. Just out in the open, out in the air, blowing dirt everywhere, and you're getting tattooed. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. People get tattooed and then walk outside. So I guess it's the same shit, but whatever. Anyway.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Lucky, for co-hosting with me. Did an awesome job again. Team DTX Steve Dude, we really appreciate you. Congratulations on your world record.
Congratulations.
Great job. Hey, we're going to do our outro. Hang around, Steve. We're going to talk afterwards. But guys watching at home, remember, like and share this everywhere you can. Get your friends involved. Show them what we do. Show them how we have fun out here. Once again, we'll see you guys next week. Next week, I am going to bring on Mike Jaffe for you USAC guys that don't know. Jaffe's an old, great guy. He will be my most watched live feed, guaranteed. The people that love Jaffe is miles long. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next week, Monday night, 6 p.m. California time, because that's the only time that matters. All right. We are